Hello everyone and welcome to NETCRYPTO, where you get important information and news about all coins and tokens of interest. And today we are taking a look at Solmax. So this is a member request, just as you saw on the thumbnail, right? So on the NETCRYPTO channel, if you want me to do a review of a pre-sale or a project, you have to join the NETCRYPTO membership, right? That's one of the perks that you have. And in addition to joining, you're also going to be getting access to the 2x challenge, where we use real tokens, real money, right, with educational content on how to make profits in crypto, right? So with that said, let's jump straight into the content. So Solmax, is it legit or is it a scam, right? So with this one, this is what we call a reflationary token, right? So there was a lot of reflationary tokens that I covered in 2021, right? And in nature, these are typical Ponzinomics, right? When it comes to reflationary tokens, most of them will have utility and so on. But the way that the whole project is just structured is just dead wrong right from the start, which makes it quite scammy, right? So let's take a look into this and do a deep dive. So step into the future of earning with Solmax. So what are they about? So they're saying purchase Solmax and embark on a unique journey with our hold to earn rewards mechanism, ensuring a continuous stream of Sol returns. Acquire Solana effortlessly by purchasing and holding Solmax in your wallet. Investors receive Solana directly with every buy and sell, right? So this is where these reflationary tokens, the selling point is, right? That's the hook. They say you're going to be getting passive income. That's what they used to call it. 2021, get passive income by buying this and holding it, get passive income, and so on, right? But one thing that I just want to say right off the bat is don't get caught up, right? Don't get hooked by this statement of buy and sell, because what they don't want you to know are the scamonomics. So inherently, it's not like the scam that we talk about the other pre-sales, for example, Wepe and Pepe Unchained and all that. It's not a scam such as that. But the way the tokenomics, right, actually done, or I call them scamonomics, right, make the project a little bit scammy, right? Because a lot of investors are not going to be reading everything through the project. Yes, the information is there, but how many people are going to be doing a deep dive and doing the calculations and everything? A lot of people will buy into the passive income only after they've bought into the project. They start to say, why is it I'm not making the passive income as promised, right? So let's jump into the scamonomics, as I call them. So basically what happens here is the moment you buy into a reflationary token, you're going to lose money immediately, right? And a lot of people are not aware of this, right? So when you buy, for example, into this project, they're saying there's actually a 10%, right? If I read this correctly, yes, there's a 10%. I think I read it down the line somewhere. Here, there's a 10% immediately when you buy. There we go. There's a 10% for buy and sell. So if you buy, immediately there's a 10% tax. When you sell, there's a 10% tax. That applies to everyone who buys into this project. Well, not really everyone, right? We're going to get into that. So that's 20% loss on your investment. Immediately when you buy, you've lost 20%. What do we mean? So let's say you invest $100,000, right? The moment that you buy into this project, you lose 10%, which means at some time you're going to need to sell, right? There's no way you're going to stay into a project forever. Once you buy, you're going to sell. So immediately, once you buy, you're going to be losing 20%. That means the moment you buy with $100,000, now you have $80,000. $20,000, the 20% is going to be distributed to the people who actually bought before you, right? That's where the Ponzinomics come into play, right? So you buy, you lose 10,000. When you sell, you lose 10,000. The hope here is if you buy at a lower price and then the thing explodes, obviously you're going to be making more money, right? And so let's say you buy at $1 and then this thing explodes to $10. It's not going to matter anyway, right? Because you've made significant gains. But majority of these tokens are not going to explode in price like that, right? And the people who are going to benefit from here Yes, you guessed it, are the top holders. So immediately, like I said, you're already losing 20% if you bought with 100K, right? And it's right there on their website. So that's why they say, no, it's not a scam. We've told everyone. But unfortunately, a lot of people don't know, right? And they actually capitalize on a lot of people not knowing about this, such that if people start to complain, they say, hey, it's on our website. It's your fault. You didn't do your due diligence, right? But that's just the way that it is. It's been like that ever since I started covering these tokens since 2021. A lot of these projects were actually just copying the SafeMoon contract and just making their own contracts, because SafeMoon is the one that's actually one of the pioneers of this reflationary system. We saw a whole bunch of tokens exploding on the market. I covered a bunch of scams from this, right? So like I said, let's say you understand the tokenomics, you know that you're going to lose 20%, but what you don't know is that the top holders are the ones who are going to be getting majority of the bag. Especially in this token, they've already banned a whole bunch of tokens, right? So let's just go right onto Soul Sniffer, right, and take a look at what is going on there, right? So if you check here, right, on the security, I'm not concerned a lot to see everything is green here, and you see here there's one of the risks. We have three moderate risks. I'm not concerned about the low LP, low liquidity provider count, right? This is a concern, obviously, right? Because if you buy into you don't buy into something with low liquidity, right? You don't buy, me, I wouldn't invest into anything with reflationary tokenomics, right? Unless maybe there is really something that can tell me that this project might actually explode in price, because that's the only upside if the token explodes in price. If the price doesn't explode, it's a lose-lose situation, because already your legs are being cut off when you invest into the project, because already it's 10%. For some, they do 5 for buy, 5 for sell, it's 20%. For some, they do even 15%, right? A token that does 10% inherently in 2021 would call it a scam outright, right? Because 20% is completely unreasonable, right? 5% is what was tolerable, right? 20% is 10% is crazy. 10% for buy and for sell, that's 20%. That's insane. That's a money grab, right? So here, if you look at this, you see custom fees detected. So this is the major risk, right, for me when you're looking to this contract. The presence of custom fees within the tokens transactions can introduce unexpected costs, complexity, and unfair advantages for certain parties. So that's one thing also that happens within these reflationary tokens. You think that everyone in the project, right, is paying their 10%. You understand the tokenomics, you understand the 10%, you understand everything, and you think, wow, if I invest, well, everyone is paying the 10% when they buy and also when they sell. But what you don't know is some of the holders never bought the tokens to start with. There are people behind the project, there are people, right, who just got tokens for whatever reason, right? And those people, they didn't buy. So they didn't pay the 10% when they bought. And when they sell, they have special privileges on the blockchain. The 10% tax doesn't apply to them, but it applies to you, right? And this goes over and above the request for this to actually go and actually check if they are people who sold without the 10%. That's not an investigation that falls into this, right? So this is just a basic look at the project, right? Like I said, it's a member request on the first tier level of the membership for a much deeper investigation, looking into if there are actually people who actually managed to, who the project developers allowed to be able to sell without the tax. That's an investigation that is separate from this. We can do that, right, if anyone is interested, right? But that's one thing that you don't know. You might think everyone is actually paying their 10% for buy and 10% for sell, but some just got a bunch of tokens because of, for whatever reason, right? And they sell without any tax. So you don't get any reflections from them. And the other thing is you want to take a look at the top holders, right? So if you look at the top holders, the top wallet here is holding 4.7%, which is actually quite smart, because majority of the projects will just have this massive wallet that is holding like 80%. But here, it's spread across. And I kid you not, people behind, the developers behind this project are going to have a bunch of wallets. Like here, they might have 0.5 or 0.3, 0.2, whatever, but they have a lot of wallets within the project, right? That's what most of the investigations that I did were coming back from 2021. That they wouldn't want you to see a big wallet with like 80%, right? But they'll have a bunch of wallets. So you're also running that risk. That is very much possible. I'm not saying they are doing it in this project, right? But I'm just saying that's one risk that you have to calculate if you're choosing to invest into a reflationary token like Solmax, right? So you see here the top holder is holding 4%, 4.7%, 3% second holder, 3%, 2%. So the top, like these top 10 holders are holding almost 20%, right, of the total supply, as you can see here, right? They're holding almost 20% of the total supply, just as you see right here. So most of the reflections are going to go to these guys, right? To these big holders. So over and above, you've lost already 20% when you bought, but majority of the reflections are going to be going to people who are holding the tokens. And guess what? Most of the big holders of this token, they didn't even buy it, right? They just got the tokens because maybe they are part of the development team, maybe they are part of marketing and all that, right? And one of the major selling points that I saw for this one is there is a video of Russ, right? Russ Davis talking about Solmax, right? That's one thing that I just wanted to address is when you see someone popular in the crypto space or whichever, it can be a celebrity or whoever it is, and you see that the project is just pinning that person everywhere, all over their page, and when they're talking about their project, be extremely careful in investing in there because it's just a hook to get you to invest into it, right? 1 year down the line, the website maybe is not even working. I'm not saying this is going to happen, but I've seen tons of tokens, especially these reflationary tokens, just for belly flat. Some of them even had utility, right? Some of the tokens that we covered on the channel, like Shirio. Remember, where is it today, right? It's belly up, right? So you need to be extremely careful when you're talking about tokens such as Solmax, especially reflationary tokens, right? Because there's a lot of things that can happen, especially with the techonomics or scamonomics. You think everyone is paying their due diligence, they are paying their fees, right? Their dues, but not everyone is, right? That's one thing. And especially celebrities attached to tokens, be extremely careful of that. Not just Solmax, but any project, right? Invest after doing your due diligence into the project and doing the calculations and everything. And you can join the NETCRYPTO membership. Join the membership and you can make a request such as this particular video that I did now, right? For any pre-sale, any project that is live out there, you can do the request, right? This is just a basic request. Obviously, more complex, more detailed tracing and all that that is required will fall into either the master tracker or the deep tracer membership level of the channel. But just the entry level membership of the channel will give you a bunch of perks, including the 2x challenge, right? A video drops every Friday. A video drops tracking our investments. It's educational content where we invest into real tokens, right? With the real money, getting real returns, and also we get real losses as well, right? So that's something that can be beneficial for you if you join the NETCRYPTO membership. So this is my review for this one. Let me know, what do you think of Solmax? Do you think this is going to explode? Me personally, the numbers already are not looking good. This is from February, right? Maybe it's going to explode. The only hope for this project is if the price explodes, and the current market condition is not quite conducive, right? And the text for this one is just too aggressive. I wouldn't even get involved. 10% for buy, 10% for sell. Are you kidding me? Right? So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.